Yeah,
I've been in
those
a
are all good.
5.0 Mustang,
Yeah.
Corvette,
Yeah,
but the acceleration and the smoothness of that was really impressive.
that's the quietest car I've ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in Actors for a while now, but I was in their TL and their, before that was a lot of wind noise. This one is just as quiet. It's got 200,000 miles on it.
Oh, it'll still run.
And I was thinking about getting another one. And I went, because the new one's one I want. It's about 50 grand. I'm going, I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to spend that money. I don't think I want to get into that. So I'm going to, we'll hang on to that as long as it'll last. And, but it's been great.
You can drive it to the wheels run off and it'll still run for it.
I love it. I love the car. It's really a great car. It's very comfortable. It gets up, but, I don't have to worry about much on the power side, so I like that. And, I'm not into spending whatever that dollar amount per month is.
I get you. So let's kind of have a little chat here. So give me some of your questions of what you're kind of feeling, what you're kind of thinking, and then we'll start getting into it.
Yeah. So, I saw one of your videos. I didn't get to the one you just sent me because I couldn't.
That's fine.
Do it, but the one you did send me, the first one, I did look at, and I was, I thought everything you're telling me is great, and I think we're moving. I feel like we're moving past some of my critical errors.
Okay, good. That's great.
And we're getting into some good, solid mechanics that I can think about, take to the range, and work through.
Okay, great.
One of the things I noticed on one of the little tutorial thingies that are in the app when you send that to me, there's a couple of little tip drills or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was reading the one, I forget the dude's name, but he was talking about, he went through this long, it was a long video about it's not a turn as much as it's you're putting pressure on this foot and pressure on this foot, and you're kind of pressing this way, push pull, that's what it was called.
Okay.
Push pull going this way, and then push pull going this way.
Okay.
And he went to some length of it. It was a long video, and he went through and he was talking about because if you don't do that, he says, then you tend to have to manipulate. So what he's saying is that if you do this, then this push pull back and push pull through takes care of everything.
Okay.
And I said, okay, well, that sounds good. And since it was on link to the link, I went, okay, well, maybe this is kind of where we're going next.
Was that Greg Rose, Titleist?
No, it was, I want to say Tom or Pete or somebody like that.
Maybe Pete Count.
That's it.
Okay.
That's
Pete
it.
Count. Yeah.
And because he had a guy in there, and the guy hit the ball a mile. I said, this is great, everything's good, wow, it looks good. Yeah, but I wouldn't swing like that. And he goes, what do you mean? Well, you're manipulating it. So you may be great one day, and because you're manipulating it, you're going to be terrible the next day. He goes, yeah, that's exactly what happened. He goes, it's because you're manipulating the club, and you can't manipulate it every single time correctly the same way, but you can work your body the same way. Therefore, the club head takes care of itself. Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense to me, which is kind of what I feel like we've been working on is that we're getting to a place where this core is working the same, and therefore my swing is going to be much more consistent.
Yes.
And his position was the objective is to be as consistent as you can be all the time. You may be a little off here and there, but if you're consistent all the time, then the little off here and there isn't going to hurt you. And all right, all that makes sense to me. So what I was working on, aside from what we just did, although it looks like I was laid off a little bit, but I was working on making sure this shoulder got here. So I worked on this quite a bit. Then feel like, man, this is, my natural turn is about here. Then that's a problem because when I get here, I feel like, okay, I've got a lot of power. And when I hit it well.
Okay.
When I get here, I pull it every time.
Yeah.
So I know when I pull it, that means I haven't gotten here.
Yep.
Because when I get here, now I have enough time to get through my hips, and everything is lined up.
Absolutely.
When I get here, my shoulders are too early, my path changes.
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay, so we're on the same page there. So I've kind of figured that out.
Good.
I would like to think about what is a good, I think what I tried to figure out is what is a good swing thought that lets me get here without having to look down at my toe.
Okay.
You know, because obviously if I get here and look down at my toe, or I feel like my shoulder, the other thing I was trying to do is get my shoulder blade on this shoulder literally like almost facing past the target.
Okay. Let's let that left knee come back a little bit for me, please. Yeah. Okay, you kind of keep that knee, yeah, we can let that knee kind of drift in just a little bit. Does that kind of help with the turn a little bit?
Yeah, it does. I was going to ask you how much should that come in. I don't want to break down, but I guess if I'm here, then this really isn't breaking down as much as it is helping to turn.
Correct.
Now, what this Pete guy was saying is that when I'm back here, I should feel. He actually turned the foot. He said you should feel this pressing this way and this going this way. So this is the pull and this is the press.
Yep.
So if you do this, and I do, when I go back, I'm literally trying to push through my toes. And I'm trying to get the feel on my heel at the same time. Okay. If I get that, and then when my first move down is to press on this toe, just a bit. Okay. Just a bit. And then at that point, because he said if you press this way, you don't want to press this way, you want to press this way. If you press this way, like basically down your toe line, down your toe sticking out, 45-degree angle. And then your pull is your hip.
Yep.
And then your pull, once you press, then your pull.
Yep.
You get when I do that correctly, I feel like it's great.
Absolutely.
It's like butter.
Yeah. Yeah, you're on the right track right there. It's just at this point it's just
too much.
Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat, right? We've got to keep doing that till we get that feel, right?
It's to me, it's a couple things. One, getting this turned far enough, and then the sequencing from this, because I think I got this down pretty good. This I can feel really well.
Okay.
Heel, toe at the same time really well.
Okay, good.
Or toe, heel at the same time really well. I feel that. It's getting far enough back. Before I put pressure in the toe, and then again, it's not any more than that. It's really very little, and then this firing back.
So what do you see? Let me ask you this: when you see Scotty Scheffler come through, what's he do with his left foot?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
He's and actually that happens a couple of times. It does when I really get after it. I mean this thing comes up and it's going.
Right? You know, when I look at the long drive guys, I look at Scotty Scheffler, it's not a swing that, a lot of people, well, they're starting to study it now. Let's put it that way. It's not something that we would study before, but now we're definitely studying it. World number one, you're going to get microscoped, right? But the big thing, and Justin Thomas is the other way, right? The big thing I see with these guys is that when they get in here, they load, and what they're really doing is just kind of jumping and pushing back. Right? It's almost one of these things I go like this, and I'm jumping and turning.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I know when I can feel this, and then he also said it's not a squat. You're going down because you're pressing into this. And I can feel that. So I'm up, and then I'm pressing, so I'm going down, and then I'm up again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the feeling we should have as far as movement patterns go, right, is I feel like I swing up, right, pressure into the ground still, down, I squat basically, right?
Which I'm pushing through this toe at that point.
Correct. And then I want to feel this knee snap back, hip going back, and then I'm going to extend up.
That's the last part is probably what I'm not getting quite yet.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking about those other pieces.
Okay.
The last part I'm not thinking through. It's just happening. Okay. And it may not happen the same way every time. So anyway,
let me bring this guy in here. So
that's why I've been.
Go ahead and put this underneath your left foot. Okay, underneath the ball of your left foot. Okay, good. Go ahead and get into your setup for me. Okay. Now what I want you to do is when you get up to the top, I want you to press down on that, and then feel how it kind of reacts against you. All right. come down, right? Feel that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and now extend up. Does that give you a good sense or an idea?
Yeah. Actually, I used the golf balls thing the other day.
Okay,
Yesterday.
good.
Put the golf balls underneath there so I could feel that same thing we did last time.
The thing I like, it's a little spongy, so you feel like you're on a little bit of a ramp. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The cheapest way you can do is just buy an old tennis ball, cut it in half, and do it. That's what we used to do as kids.
Right.
Right? So that gives you a good feel of here, right? Getting into it, right? And then what Pete's saying, and I think he's absolutely right, is that as we come through here, this knee externally rotates, right? It externally rotates to allow me to extend up. Right?
Right.
And it's just one of those kind of things as I get here, right? I want to feel like my knee kind of rolls out just a little bit.
Yep.
And then extends up, and that's going to help me quite a bit. Right?
Well, those mechanics resonate with me. I mean, I get that. All that makes perfect sequential sense to me,
Okay, good.
which I had not a clue before I walked in here.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Well, here, let me let you warm up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. What club do we have in our hand?
7.
Okay. And we've got some extra time. I put a little extra time on the calendar for us on this one today, just so we can have that discussion.
That's cool. Thanks.
Okay.
Appreciate
You
it.
got it, my man. Because I don't want you to feel rushed.
No, I appreciate that. I ran into a train on the way over here, so I know I was a few minutes late. It sounds like
No,
it
you're
looks like
fine.
you had a guy.
You're fine. Okay, so let's just kind of warm up here. I'll get this guy out of here. Just kind of hit a couple balls. There we go. Look good. Just kind of warm up, take a look. And just tell me what you're kind of feeling, right? We just felt like we were kind of turning up on the last session. All right. Crush the whole system.
It's power, baby.
Now, have we gotten out and played any golf?
I played Friday
Okay.
and Sunday.
Okay.
And I played pretty well on Friday, although I pulled a lot.
Okay.
So I just, it was more of a short game success than it was anything else.
Okay. That's right.
Sunday I did good. I had a couple holes that came apart on, but
That's gonna happen.
you know, yeah, I wasn't too upset with it. I was getting off the tee better.
So when you go on out there and play, do you keep track of your fairways and greens hit? Okay.
In my head a little bit, but
Let's start writing those down.
okay.
Okay, and then the other thing we want to start taking track of is how many putts around, right? And how many sand
Yeah.
saves.
My putts are, my putter, I generally am very confident on my putting.
Okay. That's great. I mean, I
I
don't
mean,
want to take away
I
from
don't
that.
three putt hardly at all. Most of my putts are two putts, and you know, once in a while I get some ones in there.
Mhm.
Like Friday, I had 3 birdies.
That's great. That's great.
It was
Good.
like, yeah, this is great.
Good.
Sunday, I had one, maybe one on Sunday. But that was about it. Most of my, you know, a fair amount of pars, no double bogeys. My short game is not really much of a concern to me. I've always had much. I'm sure I can improve it. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But my short game saves my ass 99.9% of the time.
Okay. That's great. That's great.
Yeah. So if I'm short, I'm always good about I can get it close to the hole in one putt pretty easily. I don't mess that up too. When I do, the hole comes apart.
I got you. I got you.
But you know, generally, my short game is not my problem.
Okay.
It's this part.
I got you. Absolutely. It would be unfair of me not to have a discussion about it.
No. I appreciate that, and you know, you know, somewhere down the line, I think we probably should talk about some things just to see whether or not is there anything I should do to make me more consistent. But you know, I'm happy to do
I
that.
think you can always. There's always improvement for the
Oh
short
shoot,
game,
yes,
always.
you can, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But because I've known my mechanics that suck otherwise, my short game is something I've always felt that I can do better at.
Rely on, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say, rely.
Let's move that 7-iron just up ever so slightly in our setup.
Too far back?
Yeah, I'm just our low point's 8 inches ahead. Okay, I'd like to get that probably at about 3. Good. Better for the low point. Good. Club path is good. Base angle is a little wonky, but that's okay.
Where was that at?
It ain't captured the low point, but it went straightish, but it's still probably down a little bit. Better. Okay, so one thing we're starting to kind of figure out here is getting our low point to a good position here. Okay, if we get
Okay.
too far down, right, we want to hit down on it, but we don't want to dive into the ground. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I guess I was good question to ask was ball position. I thought we were good on that, but if it needs to be more up here, which to me is just right here.
So let's kind of take a look here. So when we practice, have alignment rods. Right, so we might want it, so this would be center.
Yep.
Okay, that would be center. And then we'd want it, let's kind of do this here. And I'll get the other thing out here. So it'd be here, that'd be center, half ball, half ball. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
Here?
okay. So
Here's-
when I set so normally what I do when I'm out there,
Mhm.
just so you know my routine,
Yeah.
is I usually get here.
Mhm.
I usually pick a point, and this is something you've heard a million times. Pick a point, always get behind, pick a point, do what I'm supposed to do, as all the training has taught you. I get like this, so I think the ball's in the center of my stance. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then what I do is I'll take one small step, and then this step is designed to get me in line with my shoulder.
Okay. I think you could take a little bit further step back. There you go. A little bit wider base force. Okay. Get that right about there. Okay. we'll bring in a visual for you so we really get a good shot at what we're trying to do here. Okay? Let's just kind of set up to it. So we're going to put our left foot right here. Good. Okay, and then we're going to put our right foot right there. Okay, this is where the ball would be. What does that feel like or visually look like to you?
Where I was the first time before you told me to move it, that's what it looks like.
Okay, you're a little bit further up than what you think. But let's give it a shot here. You're good. Try it again. All right, left foot up just a little bit. There we go. There you go. Good. Good. What's wrong? Time out?
I did the wrong way.
Okay.
My shoulder literally felt like it went down.
Okay.
So we're going to stop that again.
Here we go. Good. Good.
See, I feel like I'm not getting far enough back on my shoulder. And I feel like that one, I didn't have a very good feel about my footwork.
I'm going to take this guy out real quick. All right, let's put the club across our chest for me, please. Okay, yep, just as so. Good. So I'm going to get you here. Okay. Go ahead and turn and get that. There you go. Okay.
I'm having a hard time getting there on a regular swing.
Yeah. So
I'm getting here. I know I'm getting here.
Yeah. We've got tight shoulders and we got to start loosening those up a little bit. Okay. What do we feel in our hips a little bit? There you go. Perfect.
I feel like I'm twisted up. I'm good. I feel
Okay.
good. My hips don't feel a problem. It's just these shoulders just can't seem to make this happen every single time.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of move your head just a little bit. There you go. Now come on through. Good.
That's the other thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to look out my right eye.
Uh-huh.
If I look out my right eye, I feel like I can turn better.
Yeah. There you go. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. Yeah.
And if I look out my right eye and I can see my shoulder, then I think I'm doing it.
Yeah, you're doing good right there. Good. Okay, great.
Unfortunately, this is what I do.
Yes, yes, you move your head back too far, okay? And what happens is it's not really a turn as it is just a lateral shift back.
Yeah.
Right? So if I get you here, right, and for us we want to put something right here on our head just a little bit and really get our shoulders to turn hard against that, then I'm here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes great sense.
And it just takes a lot of time. Okay, let's do that again. Club across our chest. Okay, let's put our foot on the other side of that. There we go, good. All right, chin on up. There we go. Go ahead and turn for me. Yep, yep. All right, give me one more turn and hold. Okay, now if I had a club right here, so I'm going to take that out of your hands. Okay, and then see your hands. Not worried about where the club face is and all that. All right, now, right, your hands are in line with your sternum. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got a real good chance of staying on plane and coming down.
Okay.
Feel where we're at right there? Okay. All right, so I think it's just going to be a lot of doing that drill, right? Getting used to that feel. So here, set up for me. Okay. Just a little bit backwards, just a smidge. Okay. Feel like come a little bit closer to me. Hands up just a little bit for me, okay? Because I think we talked about how you get that club chap down a little bit. So put that back on up. For me. Here we go. Give me a good setup. Go through your setup for me. Good. Just bring it just a little bit back. Okay. All right. Put this right here. And I just want you to kind of feel like you're turning back. Yeah. Okay. Once again. Yeah. You feel how you're not swaying off the ball?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Good. All right.
Yeah, I think I was doing this.
Yeah, you're just kind of
Thinking I'm turning away from it, but I'm not.
Yeah, you're just kind of swaying. You're kind of moving
Yeah.
your chest away from it instead of kind of feeling like we're turning around our spine as we turn behind it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little different, but yeah.
Okay. Yep, right there. And let's just kind of start from there.
Really feels like it's honestly, what it feels like to me with this little change,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like that my club is going straight up and straight down. Just what it feels like.
Well, yeah. I mean, think about it. If it was a circle, all right. I don't have any. If I had a circle, right? Okay, that would be my circle, right? I'd start like that. I don't want to go like this, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So here's something. I'm going to kind of do this so you really get kind of a good feel for it. I hope. Okay. So I'm going to put this in your chest. Okay. So go ahead, set up for me. Okay, we're going to put that in our chest. Kind of hold it. You got to hold it. No, like this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
What you were gonna do?
Yeah. So we're going to get that. That feels different, doesn't it? Okay. That on in there. Okay, good. So don't worry about the ball right now. Okay, so we're going to swing on back here just a bit for me. All right. Okay. So, do you see how your hands are in line with the bucket now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. Okay. We're going to come on up. Let's keep coming. Good. Good. You see how your hands are still in line with the bucket?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For you, you're getting
Mm-hmm.
back there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so as my old instructor used to tell me, right, I want to feel like I've got two light bulbs on my shoulders out this way, and I want to keep my hands inside the light. Okay, so you've got flashlights right here shining down. Let's keep our hands inside the light. Yep.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Okay, does that give you a good visual?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay, does that give you a really good feel?
Yeah.
A visual at least, right?
Yeah.
Good. All right, let's keep our hands inside those beams of light on our shoulders, okay? Good. A lot of numbers are starting to clear up now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? What are we not seeing?
Pulse.
The pole. Yeah. Good. Yep.
I know.
Good.
That's
Good.
great.
Good.
That's great. Yeah, that's good. I can take that.
Good.
That little piece of information is excellent.
Let's work on that. Good.
Look, just like that, the pulse came back because I did it wrong.
That's okay. Let's just give you a practice swing and kind of feel where that beam of light is, right? Yeah. Yeah. Good. Very good.
I came over that.
Even though coming over just a little bit, right? We're not over in the bushes,
Yeah.
right? It's not our longest shot, but we're still going to go find it and play it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Around for us, right?
Yeah. 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 That's better. Much better. Much better. I can get my mic real quick. Fix my collar for you. Sorry. I always wonder if the collar comes up like that, just a telltale sign I'm not swinging right.
No, it was up when you came in.
Oh.
So no.
I wasn't swinging in my car, so therefore.
I hope not. Perfect. Yep.
That's also doing wonders for getting me over, isn't it? I don't have to work as hard.
Now the arms are looking good. How are they feeling?
Honestly, it feels like I'm a little stretched.
Good.
A little stretched. So I just wonder if, should I have more wrist action or not, or is it taking care of itself?
Take a look. Let's see.
I mean, my distance, was.
That's good. Okay. Big thing is, let's just kind of take a look here. Is that? I want to take a look at your head. Okay. There's our little issue. Okay, go to this guy. Okay. Austin Eckler. Really, they put him in. Then on. Okay, they got some new guys in here. That's cool. Oh, Eric Cole. Absolutely. Let's see this kid. I watched him at the Masters. Heck of a nice guy. At 34 years old, he won Rookie of the Year. With all those 20-something year old out there. Let's watch his head. Okay. What's his head doing compared to that line?
Goes back a little bit, stays back about, I don't know how long that is, but couple inches maybe.
Correct.
I'm coming through that line.
Correct. Correct. So that's why our angle of attack is so far down, okay, compared to this. So if I can get you to feel like your head's more behind the ball,
Yeah.
at impact, okay, and releasing our hands,
Yeah.
that'll help shallow out our angle of attack. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it really comes back to doing this, okay? So let me kind of demonstrate, right? So if I were, as a youth, we used to do this. Coach would get us on the wall. You'd have to turn. Okay? That would help get us. Now, this is not how we're going to swing naturally, but it would give us the feel of making sure that we keep our head behind the line. Okay? So once again, as I got here, turning through, feeling like my head's behind the ball. Hands are releasing here, and then I come up. Okay, so come on over here real quick. I want you to kind of get a feel for that, okay? And that's just going to take time because that's such a habit for you to want to kind of, so I'm going to kind of get you, there we go. Good, so kind of turn. Right. Good. You like to kind of turn through. Turn on through. Go forward. Yeah. That's a totally different feeling for you, isn't it? Okay, good. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Great turn there. Good turn through. Yeah. Yeah. Now the big thing that we can see is your head stays in the same hub when we do this. Now, when we look as you come through here, all right, put a little circle around your head. Now you're trying to push back a little bit. We're still going into it. All right, so you're just off so slightly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's just enough of degrees. How your head's just those many degrees ahead. It's how many far degrees you're down. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So. No, that's not you. This is you. All right. Okay. Keeping our head in that beam of light, right? So I'm going to do this. So set up for me. Okay. Keep your hands inside the beam of light like we talked about. Okay. Now come on down through slowly. Yeah. Why are you pressing down?
Why?
Because it's good.
Oh.
Okay. Because now we're not moving our head forward to get that motion. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that club's dropping right in front of your chest. A lot of good stuff starting to happen now. Okay.
Okay. See better?
Very good. Very good. Okay. Very, very good. Let's keep with those thoughts and feels. Low point's getting a lot better. You see how it's a 3.5 now, not a 7 or 8, or even a 10 at sometimes. Feel like we're keeping those hands inside the beam of light as you come through. Feel like you're kind of turned behind my hand just a little bit. Yeah, yeah, real good. Real good stuff going on there. Here you go, partner, right here. That is where we live.
Okay.
That's where we live. Okay. Any questions right now, Mike? Anything I can kind of answer for you?
No? I would like to hit some off the a few drivers, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Just
Absolutely.
take one more of these. See how what you just told me translates to the driver. I moved my head forward that time.
Okay, you felt it. That's great. Okay.
Do one more.
Yeah.
That first move was forward.
You felt it. That's big. That's understanding.
That's better.
Better result too. Okay. Maybe just a little bit, but that's okay. I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Path was out, face was closed, very good. Smash factor was good, so it means that we're getting more closer to the center of the face, which is really good. Okay.
So for me, you know, the carry, I don't know how accurate that is really, but I feel like my 7-iron, you know, I typically hit my 7-iron about 150, you know, but what I was noticing at the range the other day, I was hitting it further than that,
Okay.
which was good.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Just dialing in, you know, my 8-iron goes about 145, 140, that kind of a thing.
I think the big thing is that I the carry distance is important, right? The more bigger thing is that we can always grab a different club for more yardage or another club for less yardage. But the big thing is just being consistent with our strikes.
Well, I agree. I just feel like if I'm swinging good, this is where the carry should be. So to me, it is a result. You know, you know, am I swinging good, and does a good swing produce what I want?
Right. And the other thing you got to remember at the range, you may be hitting a Titleist Pro V or a Kirkland ball.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, those are two. I mean, there's a reason why people do ball fittings, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be different reactions for different swings.
No, you're right. You're right.
Right?
You're
So,
right. You're right. You're right.
You know, and that's the thing is if I was out there practicing, you know, I'd probably more find myself in here with just one ball that I consistently use out there, so I get the best reading as possible. Right. All right, big guy. Let's kind of go with this. Okay, we're going to go with the old driver. Now,
just so you know, this is a Ping 400. It has a stiff shaft in it.
Okay.
I don't feel like I don't feel like my swing speed even comes close to needing something like this. But I did go back to this because I was actually hitting it better than I was hitting one with my regular.
Okay.
As far as rollout and carry and stuff on the range, I felt like I was hitting it better. So I went back to this and you know, put those other ones away for now. Okay. Just so you know, that's what I did.
All right. Give me a couple swings here, and let's see. Okay. Same swing thoughts. The head's just going to go back a little bit more during impact. All right. Keeping those hands in front of those beam of light. Good. Feel like we kind of hit it off the top or something there, or kind of popped it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay. Just making sure.
What I feel like I'm not doing is I don't feel like I'm loading at all. Feels like I'm moving everything at the same place at the same time. I don't feel like I'm coming into it in a power position. I feel like I'm coming into it, I'm just hitting through the ball. You know, I'd like to feel like a little more power, you know, a little more of a power feel.
Gotcha.
So I just feels like everything's moving at the same time.
Well, let's come on in here and take a look, okay? Let's take a look at everybody. Okay, get the old magic move here on this guy. Okay. One thing I see is I think we're getting too far set up behind the ball here.
Okay.
Okay. Now the other thing I see here that's really bad is that your hands are ahead of the club at address. Okay?
Okay.
So if we look at Eric here, right? Here's the ball, here's his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I drew a straight line, right? If I drew a straight line from the ball, okay? Now, your ball's here, probably right about here. Okay, see how your hands are ahead?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's one, okay? Let's kind of take a look. We don't need so much shoulders down, so just a little bit more level. There you go, good. Okay, now you could probably give me a little bit wider stance. There you go. There you go. Okay.
So I'll tell you what it feels like is it feels like I'm like here my head feels like I'm in the center.
Uh-huh.
Here it feels like my head is moved this way.
So go ahead and set up for me. Shoulders got to be a little closed. Okay. Now, got a little bit of an open stance there.
You need to do that.
All right. So I'd like you to kind of be more like this. Get your left toe up to the line. Up, straight up to the line. There you go. Right? See how that kind of helps your shoulders be closed a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, good, good. Okay, now let's kind of take a look at the setup here. Okay, good. Okay. What are you kind of feeling now? Talk to me.
Now I feel like I'm aiming over to first base, right field.
Okay. I think that's part of our feet being open a little bit.
And my shoulders feel like they're parallel with my feet.
Okay.
They just feel like that. And it also feels like my hands are behind the ball.
Good.
And now it looks like my club face is a little bit more down the target, if not just a little bit. I guess if I let it relax.
Open just a little bit, right?
Right now it's open a little bit.
Yeah, good, good. So here, this is how the club's gonna lay.
Yeah.
Okay? Because there's a few things here. One, we want to maintain the loft on the face, okay? And the other part is what we call gear effects,
Yes.
right? I want to make sure that I hit the inside part of the ball, which is in a crash, it's going to go the opposite way, right? If I get that club face a little too closed, right, I'm going to start hitting it on the outside and I get that spin to the right. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
I understand the gear effect.
Now here we go. Here's the other thing. Okay. I'm going to kind of show you this. So get this guy on out of here. Okay. So I'm going to have you feel like, just go ahead and set up to this ball for me. Okay. All right. And I want you to just kind of make a small swing. Okay. And then try to return that back to impact for me. Okay. Once you take it on, I'm going to move the ball. So just go ahead and move up to the top slowly, and then come on down through for me. Okay, come on down and through.
Like hard? Or?
No, just slow, slow, slow. Yep, yep, better. Okay, so what I'm getting you to kind of do here, all right, so let me kind of demonstrate this just a little bit, all right. The thing that I see with a lot of people, okay, is that when they get here, right, the club shaft is ahead of that line.
Yes.
Don't want that. Okay? We want this.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay? So for us, it may feel like we're backing up and out of it just a little bit from what we're used to.
Okay.
Okay? But what I really want to do here, and you'll kind of see here with this guy, right, is the shaft is going to return basically back in the same position, maybe ever so slightly forward, but never ahead. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let's watch his, so we'll put a line right here on the shaft. Okay. Right. Boom. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to get, the theory is that we want to get that shaft back to basically the position that was in.
So it puts a upward.
Correct, because we want to make sure that with our drives, you see how this low point's here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we want to have that to be a B. We want to be before the ball, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to have you do this just a couple times. I want you to take a swing and then try to feel like that's level or behind. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, turning that shaft back to where it was. Mm-hmm.
Now see, I'm ahead.
What's that?
I'm ahead.
Yeah, now you're good. Okay? Now do that again for me. Mm-hmm. Come on through. Yeah, look how your head's worked backwards. You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. A few more times for me, please. Yeah. Good. So let's come on over here and take a look at old Eric here.
Oh my God.
Okay. Now, this is before, okay? See where his head is?
Yeah.
It's moved back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's show you what you're doing now. Okay?
Okay.
Do you see what we're doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Try again. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's the position that we want to kind of be in, right? You see how Eric's in that same position? Or any pro, doesn't have to be Eric,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that head for him starts here, and when he gets the impact, it's probably what, almost 9 inches? That's probably a little too much, but
Mhm.
it's pretty good, I guess. Right? But the big thing is we don't want to get the head
Yeah, no kidding.
right. That's where your angle of attack comes at 8.3, right? His low point is 9.6, which is actually extreme. I don't see terribly too many do that. But that's because he's really working his head back behind the ball. That's why I wanted to kind of use him as a...
Great.
Does that make sense?
Makes great sense.
All right, so what we want to do is we want to find a little something like this, okay, and just practice, right? Getting that shaft back to a vertical. Okay, I'm going to kind of move just a little bit here. There you go. Okay, good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give you another little example here, right? So I want you to imagine you're Paul Bunyan. You're going to chop something with an axe. Okay? I'm going to put it right here. This is a piece of wood.
Mhm.
Okay? If you were to swing into that, go ahead and swing like an axe. Okay? Come on in slowly. What's your head doing?
Goes back.
Right? Again? Okay? There's nobody that's going to swing an axe or anything with momentum. Nobody's doing that. Right? You're gonna lose a hand or something real quick, right? Or something, right? Does that make visual sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see how that works.
Okay, good.
See what the result looks like.
Okay, good.
Okay, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
we changed my foot setup.
Yep, we want to feel close, so I'm
On
gonna.
here.
Yep. All right, so I want to feel like, yep, my foot is back, which is going to help me with my turn.
So I'm here. Right.
Good. You don't need to be so far behind. There you go. Okay. So we want our sternum just a few degrees tilted, but not like this. Then we're
Gotcha.
going to get stuck. There we go. Good. Okay. And let's just imagine returning that shaft back to neutral like we did on that drill. Okay.
Stuff.
It's okay.
It's a different feel.
Mm-hmm. Really get you closed. There you go. So set up for me again. Give me just a little bit more chest over the ball, just a little bit. There you go, good, okay? Now go ahead and give me a swing. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
across it.
Okay. You didn't really turn behind it. That's okay. Mm-hmm. Better. Okay, better.
Get our toes traversed.
Bring this guy in. Okay, so we're going to put our driver there. Okay, put our toe right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's put her right there. Okay. Thank you. That's good. Okay. Now, let's see if we got that straight for our shoulders. Good. Okay. Now, good positioning there. Okay. Now I'm going to put the ball in the place that it needs to kind of be. Okay. So get a good visual. Okay. Good. Make sure that's in line with what we're doing. Good.
So it's like, to me, if I'm looking at this, it's right here,
Yeah. Yeah.
right there,
Okay.
not here,
Okay.
here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you feel like you could turn more behind the ball there?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Let's put our foot right there.
I'm going to go here. So I'm going to look at it like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oops. I'm going to look at it like this.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to move my left foot. Don't even need to move my left foot.
No, you don't. There you go. Good.
I was going like this, so now I want to be like this.
Just a few. Just feel like it's 2 or 3 degrees.
Better?
Yeah. Much better.
Not like this.
Nope. Nope. All right. Just make sure that's all in line. What we're trying to do. Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to videotape this one and take a look, okay?
There's still way, I mean, still an A. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not getting back.
Let's take a look and see what our head's doing. It's usually where we see the problem. Ah. Okay. All right, so as you come through here, you're here and you're like, I know I'm ahead of the line. Subconsciously, you know it. And then you start to go up to try to stay behind it.
Yeah.
Okay? And now your angle of attack is so far down because you're going up. Does that make sense? Okay?
So how do my first move is the whole body, my entire body is moving this direction.
Mhm.
Everything is moving this way.
Yep.
His,
What's his first
Yep.
move? What's his first move?
this, down here.
Yeah, he gets set. But what's he kind of doing more than anything? Look at his arms. All right, so set up for me, big guy. Okay. I know, takes time.
Shit.
All right, so go ahead, set up for me. Okay. Give me that feeling of keeping those hands inside that beam of light for me. All right. Good. This has got to be our first feel.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Here. Here.
My first feel is this.
Correct. Correct. Okay. So once again, set up again for me. All right. Here. Right? Now your hands feel like they're low and to the inside when they come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now swing through for me. Down. Okay. Once again. Okay. There we go. Up to the top. Stop for me. Pump. 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 Now I want from right here, I want you to swing through and up. Okay, good. Again. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Good. Down and through. Okay, once again. Up to the top. All right, you can see this is starting to move too, right? Like what you just pointed out, right? But it's definitely not this.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Correct.
Okay.
Take a break for a sec, okay? All right. A great drill for that is the basket drill that I have here. All right. This is what I continue to do. Okay. This is a drill that I continue to do, and I've done this for a number of years. But let me just kind of show you here. All right. Usually I have a little bit bigger basket than this, but this is I usually have that size right there. But I'm going to kind of put it right here in my chest, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get here. Okay? Let me show you again. Okay? Here. Okay? It's not this.
Right.
Okay? Once again. Here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that visually make sense?
Yep. I see.
So we're going to just put the basket in our chest, not worry about the club right now. So I'm going to put that right here. Get your arms to squeeze it. Okay. 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 Let your arms relax. Just there you go. Okay. Feel how you're holding it with just that part?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's make a little swing for me. Good. Okay. Now. Down. Down. Down.
I feel like I'm dropping it.
It's okay. Here, I'll hold it for you. Okay. Arms close to our body. There you go. There you go. Okay. Good. You're going to stand up a little bit. There you go. Okay. Come on over here. Good. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Okay. Now you don't need to move your butt. Your butt's going to do just fine. Okay? So, if I said, hey, there's a bell up here,
Mm-hmm.
you're pulling on that bell. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? Now here's the big thing that's going to help us, right? Is that when you do this motion, do it again for me, see if you can do it again. Okay? And pull down. Now your back's still to the target.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that means our head's going to stay behind that line.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But once I start to move that shoulder over, right, my angle of attack is going to be down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Okay. Right. Down and through. Yep. A little quick. Let's go slow. Down, down, and then go. Good. Again, pump 3 times and then pull it down. 1, 2. Once again. Pull, pull, pull. Okay.
Okay.
Do you notice what your right elbow's doing there? Get tucked in, right?
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. What questions you got for me?
I
Feel like a man who just got done with a math test.
well, that's how I am.
I get you. I get you. Yep.
This is just this feels like it's so vertical as opposed to this,
Uh-huh.
but it's not. I mean, it is. Feels to me.
Yeah. 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 That's staying on plane, right? So, you know, here's the thing. Let me kind of show you here. So if you stand right over there, right? Okay. If I get my club shaft here,
Mm-hmm.
what's my angle?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Back
Yeah.
on plane. It's just a feel for you, right? A feel. You've gotten so used to getting that club back behind you,
Yep.
right?
Exactly.
Feeling flat, right?
Behind me is how I felt it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
behind
like back
you.
there.
Right. But
And I felt that giving me strength and leverage. That-
Mhm.
okay.
But it's really just kind of what you're feeling is that now that you're here, you're so flat, we have no place to drop,
True.
right?
That's why my body's doing. That's why I'm.
Because this is what's getting your drop.
That's what's giving my power. In my mind, I'm getting my power by, this is getting,
Mhm.
even though I'm not trying for my head to go forward, but I'm trying for my body to go forward, and thus my head is following. Anyway, I understand.
Okay, so here, I'm gonna give you a little feel here, okay? This is an old drill that Earl used to do with Tiger quite a bit, so go ahead, set up. Okay, you're gonna get on up to the top. Bring your club down. Uh-huh, bring your club down. Okay? Feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Good. All right, start up again. Okay, up to the top. You feel how I'm resisting you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Good. So now the club is working in front of your chest
Okay.
instead of getting lunged across.
Right.
Good. Okay. Give me a couple swings here. All right. And get this guy on out. There you go. Okay. Slow. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Let's do one more. Again. Well, you're hitting an iron.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought you were looking at your low point you're supposed to be.
Those points still 6 inches out.
Still 6 inches ahead, right? But that's not the world's worst. Let's see. Much better. I know it doesn't seem that. This is the one previous, okay? Right?
Yeah.
Much better, okay? Now, he's hitting the driver, okay? If I took him out, you'll see that his head would be a lot closer to. That's not much.
I was going to say, wait a minute. That's all body came for. That's
Yeah.
like me.
You know, that's the good thing I like about this is that when you look at some of these guys, you can really see what they get away with. Right?
Yeah, and that's exactly what that guy said. He said they're so good they can manipulate every once in a while
Mhm.
because they hit 1,000 balls or whatever. So
Well,
you can't do that. You've got to rely on your body.
Right, like my old coach C.D. Gallahan said that you can perfect an imperfected move, right, and play. Right, doesn't mean it's going to last. You're not going to get 4 rounds. You're not going to win tournaments.
Yeah.
But you're going to have 68s, 70s, 62s sometimes, and 78s.
Can you repeat that? Yeah.
Correct. Right, but if we just kind of go with, right, let's just watch his head. Good, staying behind it. Okay, much better.
Okay, so only my ear came through at that time,
Yeah.
not my whole side of my head.
All right.
All right, let's try one more time. I'll try to drive one more time.
Mm-hmm. Good. Much better with your low point there. Okay, much
Oh,
better. Your head wasn't so far ahead, or it wasn't ahead. We can tell. Pump, yep.
I like the ringing the bell thing. I'm good with those analogies. You're pretty good at that. Now that one felt good.
Good.
No.
It's all right.
Not exactly, but it felt better. Felt like I had more strength into the ball that time.
You know, yeah. Okay, but your carry went up by 12 yards compared to the other one where you got your head so far ahead.
Ahead at that time.
Felt it.
I can tell immediately.
Good.
One more, I'm gonna check the driver out and see if I can.
Okay. Give me a closed stance. Ring that bell.
That one felt better.
That's it. It sounded pretty good. Okay.
Not very far, but it felt better. Okay. Must be the ball.
It takes time, right? This takes time. Right. Club path is much more on plane now, right? We're sitting in the 1s and 2s and stuff like that than being at 6 to 7. All right,
yeah.
that tells me that we're not getting the club so far back behind us.
Definitely
where my
not.
path goes so far out to the right.
Definitely not doing that. That is true. That is that vertical shaft feel to me is not. I've never felt that.
Okay.
Actually, when I did do that, I felt like I was wrong.
Okay. Okay.
So
And I'm going to give you a little different feel, which you kind of know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
God, well, look at that. Still 80. I'm going to over exaggerate and see what that feels like.
All right, so I'm going to give you the over. I was going to kind of keep this one away, but maybe this will really work. Okay. My old instructor CD worked with Nick Bauda for a number of years, and when he asked Nick, "What do you feel like when you come into impact with the driver?" And he says, "It's only one feeling. You got to feel like your head's going in reverse as you come through."
Yeah, I think that's what we got to do.
Okay, so that would be the extreme. Okay, we want to feel like our head's going.
I can get
in
a B
reverse.
on that thing. I'm going to be happy.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, so just give me a practice swing. Not worry about the ball. Let's back away from it just for a sec. Okay. I want you, as you come into impact, feel like your head's going back behind you. Head's going in reverse. Yeah. I'd much rather see that right now.
You know how that feels like? It feels like I'm literally not getting on my left side.
You're not. You're not really supposed to. Right? So when we study the guys on the driver, they've only got like 2 or 3% on their left foot. All of it's on their back foot.
Really?
We're launching that thing up.
Interesting.
Okay? So the head goes in reverse.
Okay.
Give it a shot.
I still didn't do
It's okay.
I felt like I stayed behind it, but I didn't. All right, let's try it again. Had to get that feeling. Oh,
It's
that's
okay.
right.
Getting closer.
5.
It's 5.
Got 4 to go.
That's it. Good. Okay, we're too far back. Feel like you're set up a little bit more, shoulders a little. Here we go. There you go. Okay, you're still getting just a little bit like that.
Okay.
Good. Good. It's all right. Let's take a look and see where we're losing it at here. Backing up and out of it. Take a look down the line here real quick on you. Down the line here. Okay. Almost there. Set up again. Okay, up to the top. Come down. Okay. Now just give me a, let's get to right here
Mhm.
and just give me a small swing up. Okay, as we come through. Yep, just a small swing. Okay. We've got to see the B to believe the B, right? Okay, so here. Sit right on it. All right. I want us to kind of get here, okay, and then really feel like we're hitting up and over something here. So I get here, down, up. Okay.
Okay, well here's something that I saw.
Okay. Yep.
If I don't hit that, I should be good.
Absolutely. So if we put a little something out in front of us, right? We're trying to swing up and over that, right? Uh-huh. And I would probably just get this just a little bit lower. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, we're swinging up and over that.
Didn't do it, did I?
All right, so that gives you excellent feedback, right?
Yeah.
All right, once again, now I'm even sticking it over here. All right, good ways up. Okay, now, let's not kill it. I want to, she's going over. Let's see if we got a different tee.
Just simply right here. Here we go.
All right, so, all right, I just need like a little quarter swing, right, hip high or something like that, and let's just try to swing that up and over that. Okay, little swing, tiny swing. Yep, right. Let's try it again. Good. Time for me. Better.
Yeah, well, 1.9 is better than 5.
Absolutely. All right. And that's going to start taking the spin off for us. Okay, once again. All right, just a small little swing, like a little quarter swing, half swing. Just feel like we're swinging up towards the gods. Once again, just a small little swing, okay? Feel like we're swinging up and over that, okay? Launching it up in the air.
All right.
Set up for me.
That is tough, man.
It is.
Probably the toughest thing we've gone through, I think.
Yeah. So I'm going to do this. Set your club up here. Okay? Yep. You're going to start there. Much better. Okay.
I read something about some guy who does that.
John
Starts it back here.
Johnny Ron. Okay. Because what I'm trying to get you to do is feel like your low point's here, and then we start to go up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
Good. Yeah. 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 Good.
yeah, I think naturally my body's still trying to go after the ball.
Yeah, that's just aggression, right? Okay. Line it up back there. Small swing, just a baby swing. Just feel like you're swinging up. Okay. All right. Once again. You got that thing loaded up back here. Yeah, good. go again. That one seemed like,
Actually, that felt better.
okay. I was about to say, it seemed like it was much more on the upturn, but I just wanted to kind of get that on the thing. Okay, let's load on back there. Okay, just a baby swing. Let's kind of feel it. Good. All right, just feel like we're swinging up. Better. Set up for me. Try and do something kind of help us just a little bit. Good. Good. Yeah. There we go. Good.
I don't necessarily. I mean, I feel that's great, but it feels like It feels like I'm literally lifting off of it.
Okay.
Like. You know?
What does Scotty Scheffler do?
Yeah, and that's what he does.
Right?
That's what I was saying. I was going, wait a minute, that's what he does.
Right. I mean, the big thing is that, yes, we're getting that out of the way, right? But we're getting everything loaded back behind the ball to launch up. Okay? So here, let me kind of demonstrate here real quick what I'm trying to talk about here. Okay, kind of give you an idea. Okay? This is how we want to kind of practice here a little bit. Okay, I want to get this thing up front here. I'm going to get this thing right here. Okay? And what I want to just kind of do is take small swings and feel like I'm swinging up and releasing those hands as I come through. So just like this here. Okay? Maybe I should use that out there on the course.
I was going to say 2.2B. That's I'd give right now. I'd give a lot for that.
All right. So once again, right here, just want to take a small swing, and I want to make sure that I'm hitting up and I'm releasing my hands as I come through here. I don't want to feel like I'm driving that club down and through. Okay.
Say it again.
I want to get here and I want to feel I want to stay behind it and I want to release my hands.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. Once again. All right. So here. Okay. Now I'm really starting to get up behind it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's try something.
Okay. So practice swing here for me. Okay. Small swing. All right. Stay behind it. Feel that club release. Okay. All right. Feel like the butt of the club's pointing right back down the target line as we come through. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's try that.
Does that feel better?
Yeah, it's another myth I had in my head that, as far as the release goes,
Okay.
you know.
Let me give you just one little, just a frame of reference here for you. Okay. Let me see if I can do this right. Which way I want to go? Here. I want you to look down the line here on me. So watch down the line. As I come through, I don't want to do this. You see where I'm at?
Yeah.
Okay. I've held that face off just too long there.
Okay.
I want to have the feeling when I get here, boom, boom. The club shaft points right back down my target line.
Okay.
Okay? Alright, so let me just kind of prove my point here.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to give this guy real quick because he is absolutely the best at it.
Okay. For irons, drivers, everything.
Definitely for the driver. Okay? Definitely for the driver. Right. Okay. You see where that shaft is here when he comes through?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense, big guy?
Yeah.
See where my hands are?
Yeah.
Coming through? All right, give me a practice swing. Give that a feel. Okay? As you come through the shaft's going to point right back down the target line. Yeah. Toe goes left. Good job.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, does that give you a different feel?
Yeah.
Okay.
To say the least.
Okay, good.
That's what I would have feared would have happened. Exactly that.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Because I got there too soon.
No, because you swing over the top. You got to swing out this way. So, here we go. Set up for me. Good. So as we come on down here, oh, hands are moving way too far out of the way. Okay. Here. Okay. Not that.
Okay.
Yeah, so here we go. Once again, loosen these guys up, guys. Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's like moving a rock. There we go. Whew, there we go. Okay. There we go. Feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where's that club shaft at now?
It's over here.
Yeah. Okay, good. There we go. Loosen that up. Oh, there we go. Now I'm generating speed there. You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Do it again. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. We're swinging out towards the second baseman. Okay. Releasing those hands to in behind the ball. Set up again for me. Give me a small swing. We're going to keep this guy on your head. Okay. Mhm. It's tough for you, huh, big guy?
That one's tough. That one's tough.